You're listening to the Weird Girls Club podcast
with your hosts, Nave and Amy.
Hi, we're back for another episode of the Weird Girls Club.
Doing Am I the Asshole?
More Am I the Asshole Reddit little segments, and we hope you like them. They're actually really fun to do.
Yeah.
Because some of them are like I was actually just saying to Amy there when I was like looking through, I was like, who has time to type all these out? Like some of them are literally
long-winded.
short of a bleeding novel.
Yeah.
Like some of them are like chapter 1. I'm only short of saying like that.
Oh my god, do you know what I'm really remembering?
What?
Someone wrote to us on Instagram. Someone sent us one.
Oh, did
We
they?
should do that one.
We will. I'll wrap up with that one.
Yeah.
I'll wrap up with that one.
We'll do that one at the end. Someone actually sent us one, and this just started popping in my head. So if you want to send us any ones that you have, like,
It's all anonymous. We're not
yeah,
gonna be
like we won't read out anyone's names. Like if it's someone you know, if it's not even your story, like it's something
Yeah.
you know, like is this person asshole? We will do another one, like, because we're getting a good response, like, to these episodes. So we'll keep them coming.
They're fun. They are
they're
fun.
really fun. I love them. They're juicy. They're fun. So
They're juicy.
yes, text us on
Instagram.
text us. DM us on Instagram
Or you can
if-
message us on TikTok too.
Oh, you can message on TikTok.
Yeah,
Oh
you can
my god,
message
you can message on TikTok. So they're both at the Weird Girls Club. So yeah, just send us them in or and like that. Any
Yeah.
queries, suggestions.
No
or
shame.
like that. No, they'll all be nice. No judgment here.
No judgment.
But
Right, so we're gonna
jumping
kick
right
off. This one
in.
is actually really short. That's why I'm actually reading.
Ooh.
Like literally like 4 lines on. So,
Oh.
am I the asshole for using my husband just for sex and nothing else? My husband and I never have any conversations, sometimes at the dining table, but that's it. We never talk, hug, or do activities together. I only call him to woohoo and making babies, and that's it. Am I the asshole?
No, but it doesn't seem like a healthy relationship.
Doesn't really seem like a marriage. Just
No.
seems like
These are friends with benefits, but actually married, and you're trying to make babies with them.
yeah, but you don't talk to each other. So
Yeah.
like yeah, like what do you like? A baby's not gonna fix that issue. Like what he's gonna have something to talk about then, and then how long do you have that to talk about?
Yeah, like what? Yeah.
Maybe it's just need to like go on a holiday and like spark,
just get
like,
divorced.
Because obviously like you love each other because you got married or whatever, and then obviously it's just have to kind of like dwindle and where you don't even talk to each other. Like so maybe you just need like I don't know.
Or maybe it's just grew apart and it's time to move on to someone else.
You can't just judge that by them not talking to each other.
If you lived in a house and didn't talk to him, didn't care to talk to him, like she doesn't seem bothered by it, why are you with him?
Yeah.
Sex is the only reason.
Yeah, but it's like if like it's not as if they're like arguing, they're just like not talking, which
I
is
think that's even
strange.
worse.
It's so strange.
Like at least if you're like obviously arguing constantly is very toxic as well. But if you're just not even bothered to talk to each other, why be in the relationship?
Like,
Like if she doesn't care and then he doesn't care, like it's not as if she's like, oh, I don't mind having sex with him, but like we don't talk. She doesn't care. She's like, am I the asshole? Because I just feel like I'm
It's
using
more
him.
like
It's just what-
their relationship has turned into like a friendship with like what you said with benefits, like more than
Yeah.
like if like you didn't give us much information. Like we don't know how
Yeah,
long
it's
you
very-
are together or how long you are married. Like you didn't really give us that much info. But
I just don't think. I think if you get married to someone, you don't need to see it as some sort of like shackles or weights. Like not everyone wants to get married or plans to get married to get divorced, but it is an option. If you fall out in love with someone, whether you have kids or not, like it is an option, and it's just like it just doesn't seem like a healthy relationship.
no, like it does seem like then again, like I don't think I'd throw away a whole marriage just because we're not really talking to each other anymore. Like I can understand maybe you don't have anything to talk about.
But then
maybe
what's the
that's
point?
but like no, let me finish.
Okay,
So then
sorry.
I'm like maybe you need to actually go out and do stuff together to actually talk about stuff like like maybe you need to go on holidays together, like maybe you need to actually do stuff together, like it's so easy to get into a rut where you just are in such a routine, like work, home, cook, dinner, walk dog, whatever, sleep, the same routine all the time. Like if none of you are initiating to kind of like talk or like do things together, like then you will never talk, because like not being bad, but like just because you're with someone and you live with someone doesn't mean like you talk like all the time. Like sometimes there's just nothing to talk about. Sometimes you're just not in the mood, or sometimes you're just not in the mood to talk to them.
Yeah, no, I get that completely. Like
There
I'm not
definitely
saying
is
just
phases, like
but like I'm not saying just throw the divorce papers and leave them on his desk like and never talk about it, he just signs them. Like if she doesn't seem bothered by it either, Do you get me? So it's not like
Yeah.
she's like, this is a problem, we're not talking, we're just having sex. She's like, oh, I'm my asshole because like I'm just using for sex kind of thing. It's like, do you want to find, like, do you want to talk
Like,
to
do you
someone?
actually
do you
love
want to
them?
do
Like,
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like,
Because it's
is
just
it
yeah,
comfort zone there. It's like, oh yeah, he's here, we're just coexisting, and then when we get into bed at night, we kind of just do it and then turn around. Like, do you not want someone to talk to you? Do you not want someone to like, I don't know. It just seems like
it's
an
very
odd
strange.
relationship.
Yeah, like we need more kind of details. I think it's strange. Like if you, it doesn't seem like from how you're coming across, it doesn't seem like you're in love or you love the person. Like it seems like more of like a, I love them because like that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, so like I don't think you're an asshole for like just having sex with your husband, but it's just like,
but like that's
maybe
the sad thing. It's just physical by the sounds of it. Like there's no emotional.
And then it's like, then if you do bring a kid into it, then like you're not gonna have time. Like you're gonna be too tired to have sex. So then that's when it then spirals into something else. Is he gonna go somewhere else for the sex? Because if there's no conversation and then there's no sex either.
Well, you never even. They could probably have kids already.
She said using them for woohoos and making babies or something like that. Didn't she?
And making babies, yeah. So we don't actually know if she has
they
kids.
could, but yeah.
If that's the case, and that just like that's just life, isn't it? Eventually, like not your relationship doesn't always stay as like a Disney fucking movie. Like eventually, like
no, I don't mean that.
It
either,
just
but
it does, like there is parts of people's relationship that's boring. Like you go through phases and it's boring.
Yeah.
But like it's up to you if you want to work on it and actually like sort it. But by the vibe I'm getting, she's just like, yeah, am I the asshole? Like all I want to do is like have sex and like not talk to him.
It's like, yeah, no for that, but maybe
like,
look into if you want to.
Well, you are kind of an asshole. Well, to be honest, you're your own asshole because you're probably wasting your time. If you're not going to do anything about it, then don't complain. Ask, are you the asshole?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird situation for me.
It's strange. You need to give us more information. 4 lines ain't enough.
Yeah, no.
It's not as if you're talking to your fella, so you put her out a few more lines.
Maybe that's why. Maybe she's a mute.
Yeah, maybe she's just so blunt.
She just
like,
doesn't like to talk. She's just like, hi.
Yeah, the husband is probably fucking doing all the talking
That's
for
the
her.
thing. Like, I'm not even.
He's probably chatting years over.
Like, doesn't say it. Like, it goes both ways. Like, I'm not saying, oh yeah, divorce him and leave him because he's not talking to you. Like, it goes both ways. Like, if you aren't making the effort or don't feel like you want to make the effort, then you just need to know.
You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot there.
Yeah. People come in and out.
But we'll jump into the next one. Just let me wet me whistle. Am I the asshole for getting upset when my boyfriend didn't want to have sex anymore?
Oh, they're all very
sexy.
Sex today.
Explicit. Warning, warning, warning. So last night, my boyfriend and I came back from a night of drinks. Sorry, I thought someone was coming in front door. It has become expected for us to have sex after a night out. So since I usually bottom, I prepared accordingly. Okay. Anyways, this time I was really tired. It had been a long day at work and it was late at night. I mentioned I wasn't sure I wanted anything to happen. He playfully insisted, so I said, fine, let's go at it. I turned our bedside lamp on to have a better view, and he then says he wants to go to sleep now. In my head, I was like, oh, okay, well then let's do that. I turned the light back off and we go to our respective sides. He then starts dry humping me, saying he wants to fuck. He was a bit tipsy, so I found it kind of funny. So I start getting into the mood again and began going down on him. A couple of minutes later, I move up to kiss him and he starts to say he wants to go back to bed. Or he wants to go to bed. It was here that I got irritated and said, fuck off then. He sensed I was upset and I said I didn't like the way he made me feel. I felt sort of cheap when he continued to make advances on me only to stop suddenly. I don't want to sound like I wanted to force him to have sex. I'm all about consent, so naturally I don't want him to do anything he doesn't want to do. But the fact that it seemed like it was he who decided rather than not we did anything, and I was expected to be willing for when he did make me feel almost like a piece of me. This morning though, he said he was upset by my reaction when he said no, that I should learn to be respectful when he said he doesn't want to have sex. What the fuck? In my head, I was respectful every step of the way, but perhaps I should have managed it differently. After all, we were both several drinks down. Am I the asshole for having a negative reaction to my boyfriend not wanting to have sex, even though he continuously stated that he did?
No, like
No,
straight
he was
off the
giving you
bat,
mixed
no,
signals.
that's mixed signals. Like,
He's saying yes, no, yes, no. So you're like, I'm not in the mood. And then he's like, oh, yeah. And then you're like,
Yeah.
I am in the mood. And he's like, no, I'm not. And then you're like, all right, we're not. And then you are.
like initially you didn't want it, and then you gave, like, you kind of gave in, or like, yeah, fine, let's do it, whatever. And then I was like, oh no. And then like the first time I was like, right, okay, grand, like I wasn't really into it. But then don't get in the mood, start doing things, you get off, and then when it's my turn, you're like, no, let's go to sleep now.
Yeah, like
turn
I'm
the
wrecked
lights
now,
off.
over and done. Peace out. Like
what?
another ick. A selfish lover.
Yeah.
Who wants one of those?
Oh
But
my
no, I
God,
don't think you're
yeah.
the asshole in that situation.
No,
I don't
no.
think, like, it's totally it's totally understandable why you were pissed off.
Yeah, and like from it seems like you both have like a clear thing. Like if he's really said no, like I don't want it,
Like,
like
no
they're
means
both
no,
respectful,
yeah.
kind of like in that way. Because there's obviously some relationships where it's just like almost assumed that it's gonna happen and that you have
Yeah.
to comply because we're in a relationship. Like that's not how it is. But to go back and forth and be so hot and cold like that, like oh yeah, let's do it, and then just no, let's not do it, and then come on to you when you're in bed,
Yeah.
and then you both go at it, do whatever, and then it's just like no, now. That like not like
I'm
that feels so degrading,
yeah, like
in a
bam
way.
bam, thank you ma'am, like
Yeah.
I'm done, like
Yeah, like I'm done now, like I don't actually even want to kiss you, like let me
I
turn
don't
around.
need you now, like go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's no, if Anton your fella was the asshole, sorry.
Yeah. No, that's
No, like what are you gonna leave like a bleeding tenner on the bleeding side table?
Yeah.
Like what you want from me?
pat me on the head and turn around. Good
boy.
job.
Yeah, no, you're not the asshole, hon. You're not the asshole.
No.
We'll jump straight into this one. This is
Yeah,
this
that's
is a
like some-
different topic. This is
It's not
not
sex
a
related.
sex topic.
Right.
But this one is: am I the asshole for arguing with my daughter's dad after he told her about his diagnosis? Let's see.
Okay.
Grab a fucking snack. Me, female 36, and my daughters Leah 13 and dad, male 37, got divorced 3 years ago. We used to share custody of her, but now that her dad recently got diagnosed with cancer, things are a bit of a mess. He and his family have been busy with his illness, and since Leah hasn't gone to stay with him for 2 weeks now, he and his sister visited days ago. They saw each other and he requested a private minute with her in her room. I gave them all the privacy they needed, but as soon as I heard the commotion, I decided to enter the room. I walked in on them hugging, and both him and Leah were crying. I freaked out because I didn't know why she was crying, but she refused to answer when I asked. She left the room and I immediately asked her dad what happened. He told me that he just told her about his diagnosis. I was in shock. I asked if he seriously did that and he looked at me confused. I told him he shouldn't have done that without telling me. He looked even more confused and said that Leah needed to know because he needs her as part of his support to recover, and said that he didn't get how and why he was supposed to wait for her to consult. I got mad and told him this wasn't okay, but he lashed back at me saying he didn't need my permission to tell her since he is her father and since it doesn't concern me, but I disagreed harshly. I told him he made a huge mistake because of how this can and will affect her mental and emotional health. He responded by saying that I was unreasonable to expect him to hide his diagnosis from her and act like he's okay when he's not. He called me selfish because I know how his health will impact his time and her time, and he doesn't want her to think he's neglecting her when he's going through rough times. I told him she wouldn't notice, especially since I suggested having her come live with me while he gets his treatment. He didn't like what I said and tried to walk out, but I told him that we weren't done. His sister came in and started arguing with me and then told me to get ready to leave. She chewed me off for about 5 minutes and how I should stop having expectations of our brother and acting like I have authority or legal connection to him. Then I had I had to leave her because I couldn't take it anymore. We haven't talked since then because his sister has been all over me about it. Am I the asshole? Yeah.
You think, yeah?
I think that, like, she shouldn't be having a go. I'm like, he's already have to tell her, like, so what like, it's his life. Like, if he's the one sick, like, he can do what he wants. She's not in charge.
I don't think she's the asshole.
Why?
Because I think if you're telling a child something that serious, it needs, like, 100% the child needs to know. And I hate that when people, like, don't, like, tell kids that, like, that the, like, things are obviously gonna change. But I definitely think he should have been like, to the ma, whatever her name is, look, I'm gonna tell Leah, like, I want Leah to know, like, not just, oh, let me go in, let me talk to her, we're all gonna be crying and upset, and then she has, like, she's just, like, taken aback, like, just blindsided by it.
But by the sounds, it was like they must have had that conversation, because the ma was like, I didn't want you to tell her. So
but they obviously didn't. She said, I had no idea. Innit?
No, but she was saying, like, you shouldn't have done it, but, like,
without consulting me, she said.
Well, and then she said, well, I didn't want you to tell her because I didn't want you to hurt our mental state and our emotional state.
Yeah, because it can affect our mental health.
Well, no, it will, obviously.
And, like, I do think she needed to know, but I don't agree with, like, just being blindsided, that, like, just going in and telling child, like, because the two of them could have been in there to explain to her together that things are going to be different, things are going, like, he's going to be sick and stuff. I think the ma should have been involved in it. 100%.
No, yeah, well, in that sense, yeah, I think the ma should have been involved. Like, she should have had the heads up about it, even if she was like, no, you're not telling her. Like, at the end of the day, like,
he's like, yeah, no, I'm telling you.
Well, no, like, I'm telling her already. Like, if you're on board, you're on board. If you're not, like, I don't think, if he didn't say it, like, I don't think he should have just blindsided, like what you said. But yeah, at the end of the day, like,
yeah, and, like, obviously I don't know what way he worded things, because obviously she's writing this.
It's
but
a man.
It's
bluntly.
Yeah, because, like, the thing is as well with him saying, oh, he needs the child, like, for support and stuff. They're all, like, I get that he's sick and all, but they're also kind of like, selfish things as well. Like, it's a 6-year-old. You can't put that responsibility.
No,
oh, she's 14. Why did I think she was 6?
I don't know.
I think, do you know what it was when they were divorced at 3 years? I think I took a few years off. I thought she was like 6. But either way, even at 14 then, that's like the age of, like, hormones, everything. It's a lot of responsibility to put on a kid to be like, I need you to be there for me and I need you.
I think it's, like, more like he doesn't want to be tiptoeing around pretending he's not sick when he's, like, fucking basically could be dying.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Like, obviously we don't know exactly, like, what he was saying. This is all paraphrased from her. But I definitely think, like, the child should know, like, what's going on 100%.
Yeah,
but
well,
I
then
think
she's gonna be like, why haven't I seen him? Like,
yeah, like, and I get that, like,
she'd be more pissed off in years if he lied about it.
Yeah, so. And, like, they didn't know, and that's
it's not a baby. Like, it's not like a baby that you couldn't explain. It's like she's 14,
exactly.
Like, she's a teenager basically.
Yeah.
Well, early teen, like, just becoming a teenager. But yeah, I don't think the ma should have been blindsided. But then again, she was fucking earwigging.
Well, no, she ran in because there was a commotion and they were crying. She wasn't earwigging.
She was really.
You need to pay attention when you're reading them.
No, I read it, but, like, she's basically earwigging, like.
Well, if you're sitting here and then there's a commotion in the room and you hear people crying, you're gonna, like, go in and ask what's wrong. If your child and Aaron's in there, like, like, what's wrong?
I'd be like, fuck off.
Like, I'll just shut her up.
Yeah, just
no, but, like,
bring her out.
Drag her out by the pigtails. But yeah, like, I don't think she should have been blindsided, but I do, in them type of situations, I do think kids deserve to know.
Yeah,
because they, like, this
maybe
goes
it
over
shouldn't have been
Anne.
like, I don't think, like maybe not chewing the daughter out in the, like, just after telling her. I don't think that would help the daughter, like, at all, like, hearing them argue about it. I think maybe you could have just, like, left as is and then, like, had a word with him later on, like, or whatever, like, being like, hey, like, I didn't appreciate you, like, blindsiding me, like, like
is are both parents
like we're both co-parents, like, we should have both been in the loop, like, this is a life-changing thing, like, because
like what he had said, like, that basically did involve her into mind her own business. Like, it does involve our poor child finding out something traumatic. Do you know what I mean? Like, neither of them handled it great.
And it's well, especially if you're the person that's sick, like, you can't handle that like that perfectly, like. Like, being the dad, like, he's just worried he's sick, he's worried that he's probably not going to be around, like, he's worried about treatment, like and you do, like, in that situation, it's all, like, touchy, like, you don't know how certain people are going to take certain things, like, there's no right or really wrong, like, in a sense, like, it's kind of just like what the sick person thinks is right, but that's not always right, like, do you know what I mean? Like, they just kind of, like, go with it, and if it's fucking, like, at the end of the day, like, what can you do? Do you know what I mean? But he probably should have looped the Mara in. Like, if that was me,
That's
I'd
what I
want to
think,
know,
yeah.
like, before dropping a big
And
bombshell.
I think the sister is just being protective, because I feel like people are always overprotective of someone who's sick, like, and they don't initially realize that they can do any wrong when someone's sick. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, in hindsight, the sister might be like, "Oh, well, really, you should talk to her, and that you can both be there for the door."
Like, I wonder, was there a conversation? The man was like, "No, you're not telling her."
That's the thing. Like,
'Cause
that's totally different.
then that's like, well, I'm fucking telling her, like,
That's
she's
totally
my daughter.
different,
Like,
do you know
I'm
what I
the
mean?
sick one. So,
Yeah.
and if I'm not going to be seeing her as much, like, I want to tell her why. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it just depends if, like, she's given, like, the full story. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because at the end of the day, we're only getting snippets, but we only have to go off the snippets we have.
yeah,
But yeah, if you're going to co-parent, then and you're going to drop a big bombshell like that,
that's the thing.
like, give the person, like, give the other parent, like, a heads up.
Because then, like, if he leaves,
Because she's the deal with
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Like, he leaves, goes home, probably won't see her for a few weeks because whatever he's going through, and she's the one there that has to
Pick up
comfort
the
her
pieces,
and
yeah.
answer all her questions. Do you know what I mean? So, like, she's more involved in that, and it is so, like, such a big part of that as you were, just because you're the sick one. Like,
Yeah. Another one.
Another one.
Am I the asshole for lashing out at my husband in front of everyone for calling my son a nickname? I'll preference this by saying that I, female 34, lost my late husband years ago to cancer. I have a 6-year-old son named Joseph. I met my now husband Tim, male 37, 2 years ago and got married recently. Tim loves Joseph, considers him his own, and he has shown that in many, many ways. And many, many times. We don't normally have any issues except for this. Tim started a habit of calling my son a nickname, Joey. My problem with this nickname is that it was used by my late husband for Joseph, and it's kind of special to him. I asked Tim to not use this particular nickname, and he at first fought me off about it and then came around to stop doing it. Days ago, I hosted a dinner with my late husband's family. They visit regularly. We say down for dinner, and suddenly Tim out.
That's it. It probably meant sat down for dinner.
Yeah, we sat down for dinner, and suddenly Tim out loud said, "Hey Joey, could you pass me this plate, please?" The whole room went quiet. I got all sorts of dirty looks from my late husband's family because they know this nickname was exclusively used by him. I looked at Tim and then lashed out at him loudly in front of everyone, telling him that what he did was not okay and was a major overstep. He seemed shocked and said that he really wasn't paying attention and it was just a slip up. I responded that I already warned him about it a million times, yet he chose to ignore it. He was red in the face. He got up, excused himself to the bathroom and stayed there. After the guests left, he started arguing that I embarrassed him, hurt his feelings, and went too far for scalding him publicly over a slip up. I said that I already told him about how me and my late husband's family feel about this, but he said that we should get over ourselves, especially since Joseph clearly doesn't care. We argued some more, then he and I stopped talking to each other. Am I the asshole? These ones are tricky. I picked fucking tricky ones.
Because if you tell someone, no matter how big or small it is, not to do something repeatedly, and they insist on doing it, they're the asshole. Like, no matter what. At the end of the day, they're the asshole and they need to stop doing it if they really care about you. My thing is, Joey is an extremely popular nickname for Joseph. And I find it hard to believe that no one else calls him Joey except for the one person who's unfortunately passed.
Mm-hmm.
And when he gets friends, I'm telling you right now, none of his friends are going to call him Joseph. They can't call him Joey.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you're going to get, like, cross that bridge, because you can't tell 10-year-olds not to use it. Like,
I think it's the preference of, it's like his dad used to call him Joey, and now that there's a stepdad calling him Joey, I think what the ma's trying to say is, like, don't call him that because I don't want it to look like you're taking the dad's place because that was the nickname. I think that's where she's coming from.
I didn't take it like that. I just thought as she doesn't want anyone calling him Joey.
Oh,
she said that apparently the husband that passed away is the only person that called him Joey.
Well, I wasn't, like, thinking about his friends around. I was just thinking about that particular I couldn't kind of get that, like.
Well,
It's like if he called, like,
Like, I thought it was going to be a specific, like, munchkin or something, or like
because she
chickpea.
clearly calls him Joseph. She
Yeah.
doesn't call him Joey. But then if the like I can understand.
Joey's just so much
See,
easier to say.
it's a bit tricky with
The
when
thing
there's
is,
like
right,
when there's someone that
like-
like a parent that's passed and another parent starts calling you that nickname. Like that's
Yeah, but so my thing is, it's not like a random nickname like sport or like, I don't know, just calling them buddy or like, you know, like certain things like that like when it's something that's short for a name, that's like probably 90% of the people in his life he's gonna meet is gonna abbreviate his name, because everyone, like Seamus is Shay, bleeding Alexander is just probably Alex or Ali. Like there's so many abbreviations of names, like Megan's are Meg or Jessica's are Jessie's. Like they're just things like, are you gonna go through, like I took it as no one called him Joey except for my husband. He was the only person who called him Joey, and I don't want anyone to call him Joey. So it's like, I don't think you can go through life like that. I don't know. For me, I just kind of think you need
it's
to
like
over.
when some people kind of like when their name's William and so like their friends are saying Will and they're like, don't call me Will.
Yeah. Like
Or
if,
like,
if
you know,
the-
like in Dublin, like your name's Anthony, you say Anton, they're like, no, don't call me Anton.
yeah, like if you
But, like,
personally don't
yeah.
want to be like your name shortened like that, like if that was my name and I didn't want to shorten, that's totally understandable. You can tell everyone not to shorten their name. But when it comes to someone else that's doing that, it's like, obviously he shouldn't be calling him it if she's mentioned it multiple times. Like at the end of the day, he shouldn't. I just think it's something that's really hard to police if you're trying to like do it overall, that you're trying to stop people calling him Joey.
Yeah,
I don't think
she's,
it's that
for some reason,
for
it's like
me,
she's
it's not
trying
that
to
big of a
police him.
sentimental thing, because I think everyone's name's abbreviated. Like I would never associate with something like that to be that significant. Like oh my god, he called him Joey. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well,
Where
there's
that's
there's
different
something-
for me.
Yeah, there's like something that triggers her though, so there's
Yeah.
probably more to it. That
Yeah, that's
we
what I'm
don't
saying. Like
get,
we don't know. Like she probably hated anyone calling him Joey, but then it was just something that the husband kept doing because it, like, do you know what I mean? Like it, I don't know.
Like there has to be like a reason why
Yeah.
that word is like, don't call, like, don't want
Because-
anyone else to call. Like I don't want me new husband calling him what his dad used to call him.
I know, and I know this is gonna sound terrible, but like at the end of the day, he's filled them shoes. He's standing in them shoes. He's in bed with you at the end of the night. He's taking him to football games. He's practicing with him. He's doing all these big things, teaching him how to ride a bike, probably having the boards and the bees talk with him, gonna be there when he gets first heartbreak. He's there for all these big moments that unfortunately his biological dad's not there for. That, to me, and obviously to someone else this can be like totally different, and that's your right, but to me calling him Joey is such a minuscule thing that it does, in the grand scheme of things and the amount of life moments he's potentially going to be there for this son, outweighs anything that the dad could have been there for.
Yeah, no, and I get that. Like I get it.
Yeah, like I would have been more emotional, like say when it comes to his first day of school or I'm graduating college, like I wish David was here, but thank God he has Michael, or don't, like something like that. It wouldn't be like, I wouldn't think of something like that. I don't know, but that's just me.
No, like, no, I get that. Like, yeah, the fella's like filling the shoes. Like
I don't want to say he's replacing him, but at the end of the day, he's filling that void that is there of the father figure. But if you've told someone, like,
you have to be respectful of, like, if she's after saying, like, I don't want you calling him
it
Joseph,
makes me emotional, uncomfortable,
like,
whatever. Like,
yeah,
you need
like,
to stop.
please stop. Like, he should respect that. But then again, I literally genuinely think, like at that dinner, it was probably just a fucking slip of the tongue, and then scalding them in front of everyone. Like, that's so
Yeah.
embarrassing, because if the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be mortified.
Yeah, I'm really like that. I'm like, if something was happening, I'd be like,
just let it go.
Yeah.
Talk to him about it later. Like, why would you embarrass them? Like, this is person's supposed to be our partner, and you're willingly embarrassing them in front of all these family members. Like, no, like, there's a time and place. Like, and to be honest, like, some conversations need to be have private in a relationship.
what I
Like,
think.
not in front of a whole, like, giving them all a show. Like,
especially in that type of situation where it was like your previous in-laws and now that's your new husband. Like, it wasn't even her side, like her biological side of the family. It was like
and it's
in-laws.
just the fact that the like her husband's family was there, and then they just looked at her when they said Joey. So I think she felt like, oh my god,
That's
like, if
the
I
thing,
don't
yeah.
say it now, like, it looks like I'm just telling him to call
Yeah.
him Joey now. Like,
yeah.
so maybe she should have, like, if the dad just said, oh sorry, like, slip of the tongue, like, didn't mean that, but he didn't say and like, so it
Yeah.
was kind of like she felt the pressure then to please her like our
Yeah,
like
I
our
don't
in-laws.
know.
So it's kind of like, oh, like no one's gonna be left happy.
Yeah, it's a sticky situation. But
Like the dad could have just avoided it by being like, oh, like if he copped it, but obviously he didn't even cop that he had said it. But if she just goes like, whatever the dad's name is, like say David, and if he just goes, oh sorry, I didn't mean to say Joey, like apologies, like, and
but then just like screaming and make, because then you make it this big huge thing.
You make a big show, like, and then he left and sat in the toilet for the rest of the dinner.
Yeah,
I don't know. This is the last one I have on the list, but we'll see how long it takes.
We'll do the Instagram.
Oh, and then we'll do this. Yeah. Am I the asshole? Hold on, let me wet my whistle. Because it's like I'm using so much like, because I'm trying to say the words as clearly as possible instead of mumbling. Am I the asshole for saying I will never host another family event? We had a family get together for Father's Day. My older brother Adam, 45, also came over. We all got pizzas. My son Drew, 14, is autistic and a vegetarian. He also had food texture issues, so only the pizza he likes is cheese. Drew was waiting until everyone settled down to get his pizza to avoid him being overwhelmed. Adam, who normally eats Meat Lover's pizza, went second to last and grabbed the last 6 pieces of cheese and licked them in front of my son. So now he didn't have any pizza to eat. I called Adam out and he laughed, saying, "Early birds." I got pissed and kicked Adam out of my home. My parents got mad, saying it was Father's Day and I'm ruining it for my dad. I ended up telling my mom this is the last family event I will ever host at my home. We hosted everything since I got married almost 20 years ago. My parents said I overreacted, thus ruining my Father's Day. I said it was Adam who ruined it by going around after a kid with autism for no reason. My mom left crying, but I'm not backing down and hosting any more events, including what was supposed to be a 4th of July barbecue. Am I the asshole?
This is literally the epitome of boys will be boys. They're picking up for their brother. Who the fuck? Like what?
He 6 slices, Amy, not 1 slice. Like he picked up 6 slices of a pizza. That's a whole pizza nearly.
And licked them. So he couldn't even take one back.
And the fact that the son is autistic and a vegetarian and he has like texture issues, so he won't eat certain textures. No,
he's not gonna eat the slice of
brother's
pizza after he licked it.
45. The brother's 45. He's a fucking asshole. You are not the asshole.
No, you're a fucking
brother's
loser.
The asshole.
Like actual loser. Get your fucking life together.
Yeah, like get your own pizza and get your Meat Lover's pizza. Like fuck off.
That's so like that was like literally malicious intent.
Yeah,
because he specifically licked all them slices. If he had just took them all and was like, no, I'm having these and done a little joke now, but to specifically go and lick them, knowing that kid would not touch them, then no.
Who would touch a pizza after someone else licking it?
I probably would if I was starving and didn't eat anything else.
Oh no. No,
I don't. But like no, like what? Like that's specific, like taunting the kid, like licking his pizza.
That's not right. And then he was probably up in arms then and like fucking upset then, like, do you know what I mean?
And the kid was being so polite and waited last, like he didn't go first before everyone. Like, I want to send him a pizza.
I know, so do I.
Like that.
Are you gonna lick it?
No.
Bro, you are not the asshole. The man's not the asshole in that situation.
Yeah.
If the families are all sticking up for him, I'd be like, right, then fuck off.
But this is where I think of the whole, like, I know people are probably like, shut the fuck up with the boys will be boys, but I feel like this is where
just the mentality of it,
and that's how far it goes. That it's like you're overreacting because it's a woman kicking out a fella out of her house, and it's like, no.
Oh my god. Let me
like,
grab my fucking pearls. Like
that's the whole thing. It's like, what? No, so she should just sit down and let our kid starve or make him a bowl of cereal. She's probably had to pay for like 20 fucking pizzas to be delivered to our gaff.
And the son has texture issues that probably will not eat certain textures.
Yeah. Like literally all he wanted was a little cheese pizza. That's all he wanted was a little cheese pizza.
The brother went around it. And he's 45.
45. I can't believe that.
That's actually making me really angry.
Oh, like I'm so annoyed.
Like unnecessarily angry.
Oh, like I can just picture this absolute douchebag sitting in his marketing office. Like literally, I can picture him. I know exactly who he is. Like,
go ring him. Right, I have this last one up. Thank you for the girl who sent this in. Oh, yeah, I actually you know what? I actually haven't read it. I think I read it, I was actually on vacation.
I
so.
think I read it when it was sent to us, but I can't really remember it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can slightly remember it. But yeah, thanks for sending it. And again, if anyone wants to send us that, like literally just message us.
Yeah.
Even if it's like an advice question or
A voice note. Yeah, you can even send us
whatever.
a voice note, whatever it is.
Well, I did say advice.
I know. It's like a voice note. See how discreet you can be correcting someone?
But I meant advice. I didn't mean a voice note.
Oh, never mind.
I meant like, you know, like advice situations.
Oh, right. Yeah. Or you can send it to us in a
But
voice note.
you don't have to text us to it. You could send it in a voice note and Nave will remember it.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah.
So, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for getting mad at my sister for giving my uncle a ride? I don't know what she means by this.
What type of ride?
Yeah, exactly. Just for some background information, when my aunt died a few years ago, my uncle became a drug addict and is constantly getting in and out of jail. So one day my sister Jamie was driving and she had seen my uncle jump out of the middle of the road to stop her car. She had said that he was bleeding, missing a finger, reeked of alcohol, and was obviously on drugs. And instead of declining his request, she accepted. And when he saw she was driving towards the hospital, he slapped her and started yelling, saying he was fine and didn't need help. When she had told me, I went ballistic, considering the fact that he tried to murder one of his own daughters. So what was stopping him from doing it to his niece? Jamie said that he needed the help even though he hit her. I tried to argue until we had received a call from the police a few seconds later. The police told us that our uncle was in jail again for auto theft. So am I the asshole?
That was wild.
That was a lot of information.
You were like concerned for her well-being, and rightly so. Like if he has like a lot of previous issues and attempts of murder.
Again, you can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped.
That's it. Like she offered to help. Like, and I totally get that in a situation when you see someone, they're like, oh, like let me help you. But then like, if you know, like someone can be dangerous like that. Like what you said, they tried to kill someone else
tried to kill his own daughter.
That's what I'm saying. Like if she knew that, like I knew that from the house, I probably would have kept driving. But taking that out, if that wasn't it, and it was just the fact that he was like on drugs and drinking, I know myself, I probably would do the same thing, like try stop and help them. But you can't help someone again that doesn't want to be helped or doesn't think they need help or change. Like, and it's such a sad thing when like drink and drugs get involved and they take over someone's life like that. Like it can be really sad and like a downward spiral, and it's like you genuinely can't help them if they don't want to be helped or don't want your help or don't think they need help in that way. So I don't think you're the asshole. I just think your sister needs to be a bit more careful. But sometimes arguing with people,
lesson, you know what I mean? Like
hopefully if she sees him again, she'll just keep driving or something. Like hopefully
because she has to look after herself. She got slapped. Do you know what I mean? She could have crashed the fucking car.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and if that was his blood, because I know this sounds terrible, but like if he's doing drugs and it's not like safe or clean where he's doing it, like he could have any sort of like diseases or infections or anything like that you could spread to her. Like there is all these different things that you don't even think about in the spur of the moment. Like when you're in close contact like that, like in a car with someone, like there's so many different ways that could go, especially driving down and then him attacking you because you're going to the hospital.
She could have like crashed the car,
crashed, could have
or hurt someone. Like she could have hit someone. Like
that's the thing. Like so. Like I
no,
don't
you're
think
not the asshole.
No,
I you were like telling us like you'd rather not like you'd rather, but like you don't just start getting hurt like trying to help someone who doesn't want to be helped and has just hurt her and like abused her. Like so like if your uncle has like the only way that's going to get resolved is your uncle actually comes to you and asks for help, like that he wants help, but he doesn't seem like he wants help like right now. Hopefully he will say it someday that he wants help and he doesn't want to live this mad cycle all the time. But until then, like there's not much you can do.
The only thing I'd say is like if she does, like if your sister's the type of person who really wants to help people, the one thing is you could say like that if she sees them again, kind of like to maybe ring an ambulance or ring like I don't know, local authorities that could help assist them, that she doesn't have to stop and get in the car, because you never know how far it can escalate. If he wants money from her, if he wants like to go to her house to have a shower, like, and then he starts robbing her stuff, like there's all these things, because when people are in that mindset and they're like they're on drugs and on drink, they will do anything to get
They'll
their
rob your
next fix.
soul, they would.
Yeah, they'll do anything to get their next fix because it's the only thing keeping them alive and the only thing they depend on to survive on. They will take that over food, over water, over shelter, because
that's the most
it
important
takes their
thing to
mind
them.
out of it.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Like, they're obviously running away from certain demons, and food isn't gonna help that. Like, they want
No.
to escape and stuff. So it's such a hard situation when you're dealing with
Like drugs to them
like
is like
that.
oxygen. They need it to
Yeah.
survive, like, which is so sad. So hopefully
Yeah,
he
it's
gets the
very
help he needs.
I hope so.
But yeah, that was all the Am I the Assholes for this
That was
episode.
another week wrapped
There
up.
was a good few conflicting ones.
Yeah.
There was a few I'd love more information on. Like, I'd love them to be like longer. Like, no, like let's hear his side, like, or let's hear her side, or whatever.
With these. I was like, I'd love to see both sides of it,
But yeah, if you like us doing these, let us know and we'll definitely
on
do
doing
more.
it.
There will be clips up on our TikTok with little snippets in case you can't or you don't have time to watch the full episodes. But if you do, you can catch them over on our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Instagram. And we also have a second TikTok now called We're Girls Life, where we just kind of post videos of daily little snippets, and like if we do fun things together, we'll make a video. But yeah, and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. And yeah, let us know what you thought of some of these and some of your opinions and some of your comments too.
Yeah.
I want to see, do like people agree with us? Do they not agree with us? Like, have you been in a
I'm
similar situation?
So interested.
Because like the last time we did Am I the Asshole ones, we actually got so many like responses and people's like comments, and like they let us know if they were in a similar situation and what they did and if they agreed, if they didn't, if they disagreed. And it's sometimes it's good hearing other little stories of people that have been in similar things and how it panned out. So
yeah, so we'll see you again next week. Bye.